What is going on, guys? Hopefully, you guys can hear me. I am at one of my least favorite places to stop, and that is a highway rest area. It's pretty here. I tried to find some place in the back, way away from the trucks and the highway noise. And on top of that, I am probably running about the weakest signal you can do, but oh my gosh. It's sometimes you just don't get a choice on where you get to stay. And I try to plan that far enough ahead, but I knew there was going to be an area between Pennsylvania and Indiana that it was going to be kind of tough going for about 200 some miles. And not quite sure even where I'm going to end up tomorrow night, but I do have a campground reserved and scheduled for the 6th. So I got a few days to get there, and then thankfully 1,000 trails. So hope everybody is doing okay and you guys can hear me all right. There is a lot of noise here. Let's say hi to everybody really quick. Let's see what we got here. Cowboy Biker Adventures. He's got the first in the house right there from Dalton Highway, Alaska. How's it going, Don? I saw Miss Pearl in there. There she is. Tom and Lori RV Life saying howdy. Glad to have you here. Miss Angela. Hopefully Lenny is around there someplace. How you doing, Angela? WCRV Adventures also. We got from now you guys are in different places. We've got Dalton Highway and Wiseman, population 9. Love it. Like it. That is remote. I could do with some of that. I am missing the free space, the open space on the West Coast. You get over to this side of the country, and they don't have BLM lands. They hardly have forests or forest lands, and there's not a lot of public lands over this way. And trying to get it can be quite difficult. So I am kind of missing that just a little bit. I'm telling you. There's Bill, X Fired Ups, Crackerbox Palace. Glad to have you here. Brian McCulloch is in the house. Hi, Dave. This time I'm here on time, he says. Glad to have it. Glad to have you here, Brian. Finally, my time. There's Forrest right there. Glad to have you in the house. Guys, I don't have a lot planned tonight because I literally broke my 70-mile rule today at a geocaching area. I went at a rest area. I stop at the rest areas to find geocaches along the way. And usually rest areas are a good bet. You can generally pull in there. I could make my coffee, go find a geocache really quick, and then get back out on the road. So I like stopping at the rest areas. I do not like staying at the rest areas. You just have trucks rolling in and out all night, and you have trucks running all night, and they're just not very, for a rest area, they're not very restful. I don't know if that makes sense, but Cowboy Biker Adventures says here we are seated next to one another. Well, glad to have you here. So everybody's still all together. Nobody's broke down. So Arctic Bob is in the house. What is this now? We did our Arctic plunge? You did not. We did our Arctic plunge yesterday, and there were huge icebergs in the bay. Cold, you would love it, Dave. No, I don't think I would, Bob. Do you remember I carry a hot tub with me? I like hot. The cold doesn't. I'm not sure that I'd like that whole cold thing. I'm just saying. Oh. Well, Brian, I'm glad to see you here. Last 2 times I've had to say hello and goodbye. Glad to see everybody. Glad to have you here, Brian. It. You know what? I can't wait for the video to come out on that because knowing you, Bob, you hopefully filmed it, and yeah, either that or you're pulling my leg. I don't know. I can't tell. So, hey, there's our vision, nomadic living. Hello, Dave from How is Amish Country? Uh, I saw something that maybe you guys can explain to me because I saw something today here, right here at the rest area, just about an hour ago. It looked like an an Amish person getting out of a car, and she was driving. So have they changed the rules? I don't know. It was an actual car, not a buggy, and I maybe they've changed the rules. I don't know, but she had all the traditional dress and appearance of Amish. So maybe it's Mennonite or I don't know what all the other ones are out there. But yeah, that was I kind of confused me a little bit when I saw that. The Mennonites drive. Okay, all right, love it. Okay, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Don lost his glasses. What did Don do now? Don lost his glasses when he went in to do the plunge and had to dive under the water. Never found them. No. No, Don. So now what do? You can't tape a mirror onto that. Or maybe you can. Hopefully you had a backup pair. I don't know. I don't know. Next fired up. Bill says Mennonite. Mennonites. Yeah. Mennonites. So apparently Mennonites can drive. All right. All right. I did that's just crazy. How cold does anybody know how cold the water was? I mean, that's got to be cold. I can remember the oh gosh, I can remember water skiing, and I jumped in the water when it was 59 degrees to do one morning to do some water skiing with my son years ago. And 59 degrees was as cold as I ever want to feel water again. That was cold. 40. Oh, mercy. Ay, 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 ay. That's interesting. I've got if they start lighting up more, I've got some I've got some fireflies lighting up in the tree right to the side of me here, and I may swap over, and who knows? Maybe you get to see a firefly here. I can swap that over. I think. Here, how's that for a background? All right. Let's get swapped over here. I see them lighting up, and so maybe we'll get lucky. I'll tell you what, I will miss the fireflies. I do like the fireflies. No way. I am right there with you. Yeah. No. Right. When Angie gives me the cold shoulder. Exactly. Carrie and myself stated, wow, you guys, that is cold, man. That is cold. Oh my gosh. And Carrie too. Wow. Imagine 110 temp. Salt River. So the Salt River is is that true? 110 outside temp and 52 degree water. The Salt River is in Arizona is that way. No kidding. I did not know that. Yeah, just mosquitoes with flashlights. Yeah, I like it. I will say the temperature is coming down. I almost had to turn my heat on this morning, guys. I am loving it. I could have stayed longer at the Hershey 1,000 Trails where I was at, And I decided, no, you know what? I'm going to take advantage of this weather window coming up to see if I can be on the road during that time, because the temps were supposed to be mid 70s, 80s, and which is beautiful for me. I'll take it. So who knows if it's going to go up again or not. So it was about 70 degrees outside, hot in the Arctic Circle. Yeah, 70 degrees, that's summer weather up there. I'm still, though, I question your sanity getting in that water. 75 for 2 days in Prudhoe Bay. Yeah, it's been getting a little warm during the day, but I can say that I have not needed AC. I haven't even needed the AC on the dash, so that is just about the perfect temperature for traveling. And I also didn't see any of the storms coming, which I haven't looked at it. Oh, where's my? I'll look it up later. I have not looked to see if there's any storms headed my way. Hopefully, we can do without that. Hopefully, we can do without the storms. So I just saw a good weather window, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. I did get to Hershey. Got over to Hershey World and saw that. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, but that's a lot of chocolate. That is a lot of chocolate, and I walked through there and was in there for better part of a couple hours, and no. That's way too much. I did buy some though. I got my chocolate fix. Yes. That is something else. Hershey, Pennsylvania. They're not kidding around. That is a beautiful town. I absolutely loved it. And you can tell that Hershey has built that town over the years. That was just a beautiful, beautiful place. So I will definitely I if I would have stayed for another week, maybe, but I go visit them in Indiana over Independence Day to watch the fireflies. I'm with you. I don't know if we'll get to see it or not. They were just here a minute ago. I think they were over here. Just in the bottom left corner. They were lighting up pretty good here, and hopefully turning around, I don't hurt my microphone here a little bit, because that is the direction of the truck stop, and it's noisy. It's noisy. I did not do the tour of Hershey Does of the Amazing History. I did not do that. I always leave myself things to do. So I just went in and saw and toured around Hershey World. And that'll give me the next time that I get to Hershey, which there will be a next time. I look forward to possibly doing that. There's a number of things that you can do around there. So I look forward to going back and seeing it again. So, oh, well, I didn't have a lot of time because as I was saying, I kind of broke my 70-mile rule today. I think I did somewhere in the neighborhood of about 130 miles today, trying to find some place to stop for the night, and there just was not a lot to stop at. But as I travel, I do stop and do a little bit of geocaching along the way, and I did get a little bit of video ready for you here, so let's see if we can throw that up here. What is going on, guys? Another rest stop cache. Apparently I can't say rest stop cache. Okay, so every time that I say rest stop geocache, the camera shuts down. But if you know me, I stop at the rest areas along the way, and occasionally, usually, fortunately for me, there are geocaches here. And I've got one at this Pennsylvania rest stop. I'm not really showing the rest stop per se, because we're gonna go and find this geocache real quick, see if we can find it. I won't tell you where it's at. I'll show you where it's at, but I won't tell you where I'm at, other than Pennsylvania and a rest stop. That's all you know. But I got my phone here. See if we can figure out where this thing is. I've got my pen. See if we can find a geocache. Okay, so it's showing about 107 feet that way. Just take a walk. I do like C-Geo for my geocaching, including the pointer. Oh, it's right here in front somewhere. 22 feet. 16, 14. So I am right around it here somewhere. This seems to be ground zero. See if we can find it together. I hope it's not a rock cache. The darn rock caches. People hide a cache in a rock and place it in a bunch of other rocks, and that gets a little tricky. I am not a fan of rock caches. See if I can look up so on the geocaching app, if you're having trouble finding it, which I am, they do give you a hint. And let's look at the hint here. Let's see if we can get this without, I may have to crop this just so you can see the hint. Come on. A bush in front of the rest place. Small rocks. Oh boy. Let's put our pointer on again. We do have a bush. Looks like it's been trimmed very recently. Hopefully it's still there. I do have one rock that's in the bush, kind of in the bush. I'm waiting for some people to walk by. See if we can go down there, pull this one out of here. And there it is, right there. Damn rock caches. Evil things. See if we can get the log out of here. We'll get this signed and get back on the road. put this rock back and get on the road. And of course log the cache as a find. I actually have no idea where I'm going to be parking tonight yet. I haven't really looked it up. Probably about 60 miles into my day, so I'm going to need to find something pretty quick because it is Sunday. I got to get ready for the live and see if I can get some video ready and kind of show you my travels. All right, guys, hang on. See you in a second. There you go. that was just a few hours ago, and that was another rest area. I basically went another 60 miles on up the highway. There was a Cracker Barrel another 60 miles further, and I just said enough. I'm done traveling for the day. So yeah, I'm but not where I typically like to stop. Truck stops and highway rest areas are noisy, and hopefully I'm going to sleep tonight. So we'll see. Hey, there you go. Yeah, I'm not a fan of those rock caches. I am not a fan of those rock caches. So. Well, guys, I wanted to give an update on the fantasy football for this year. We will be doing fantasy football. I have not had a lot of time to figure it out yet and see what openings we have. If you have, let me see if I can throw up a banner here and give you my email, ourendeavor4you@gmail right there. If you have a desire, if you wish to join in on the Fantasy Football League this year, send me an email. At that email, put fantasy football in the subject line and let me know you want to join in for this year. And I don't know how many open spaces. I think we had 2 unopened or unplaced spaces last year. And I'd like to fill those up and get a roster of 12 people. So if you're a family or a couple, I typically would ask that one or both of you just one entry for that. But I have made exceptions in the past and can make exceptions again. So we just try to keep it fun for everybody, and we look forward to doing the fantasy football again this year. The draft will be, I'm looking at the weekend of, let me see if I can pull up a calendar here. Lenny actually sent me a picture. I'm going to show you that here in a minute, but I believe we have Labor Day weekend coming up where we normally did, or where we did it last year. And this year, I think we're going to do it a week earlier. And yeah, so September 4th will be our first day. And I am Labor Day weekend is the 30th and 31st, so I'm looking at the 23rd or 24th of August for the draft. So if you have a preference, get a hold of me and let me know, and we'll try to make it for that day. Basically, either of those days works for most people. So the 23rd or 24th, which is a Saturday or a Sunday, Let me know if you have a preference. I would say Saturday, just because I usually do the live on Sunday. It might get a little busy that day for me, but if that's what works for everybody else, then we'll just go ahead and make it happen. So if you want to join in on the fantasy football, email me there right at the banner. My email's going right across the bottom of the screen there. And email me, put fantasy football in the subject line, and we'll see if we can't get you added on for this year. We have a lot of fun with it every year and look forward to doing it again this year. So there you go. I was saying I'll show you that picture that Lenny just sent me, and I question the sanity of the people you're going to see in this photo, but let's see if we can pull that up there, and if I can get that. Yeah, I'm worried about it. We got. Can we get it? There is Bob, Lenny, and Wayne right there. And I guess Carrie and Dawn were in the water looking for glasses to see if they could find Dawn's glasses. So, yeah, you guys, yeah, I would have been happy to watch right from the shoreline and watch you guys, because that's too cold for me. 52 degrees. That would have been coldest water I've been in. And good on you guys. Looks like you're having fun up there. I did not see any icebergs there, so apparently, you weren't swimming with the ice, at least. So that's a good thing. Yeah, there you go. Well, how are we doing yeah, the Jen says that looks like fun. Yeah, I know that doesn't. Oh, I am having trouble with the signal tonight, guys, so I apologize. Yeah, that made me shiver just looking at it. I'm right there with you. It was not that bad. I'll take your word for that, Don. I'll take your word for that. Looking forward to getting over. I have not, so I am headed for Howe, Indiana, I believe it is. Twin Mills, Thousand Trails, over that way, and that's where I'm going to end up towards the end of this week. I have, and then I'll be there for 2 weeks. I have not scheduled any of factory tours yet, but I'd like to do at least one, if not two, while I'm down there. And I know I've had some recommendations on ones to go to, so I'm going to look into those and see. And otherwise, it's been a lot of years. I worked in the factory. I worked materials for Beaver Coaches back when they were still running, and that was the early 90s. And other than delivering coaches for them, I haven't been on an assembly line in a lot of years, so it'd be kind of interesting to go in and see it and see the different techniques that are used in building these coaches. So that should be fun. That should be fun. But other than that, guys, I am just trying to find places to stay. I stayed at a Cracker Barrel a couple nights in a row. That was last night's stay. And like I said, there are not a lot of free options when you're traveling this part of the country. There just are not. So I did find a state park, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name of it. So I will probably film there, but we'll see if I can get somebody to tell me how to pronounce the name over there. But Looking forward to getting in there for a couple days, and then I go over to Thousand Trails. I'll be at Thousand Trails for a couple weeks. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to that. If you have anything, suggestions on what to see while I'm over there at it's HOWE, or in Elkhart is where I know of, where a lot of the manufacturers are. But look forward to getting over there and seeing those. So it should be a lot of fun. And then I will officially, I believe, and not too long after that, I will be starting my Route 66 tour, headed down Route 66. I plan on stopping at a lot of what's left of Route 66. A few people have mentioned, said you can't drive it all, and that is correct. Route 66 is, for the most part, the old highway is gone. There are, with a few exceptions, places where you can drive it. I do not plan on taking it all in the coach. I plan on finding places to park and driving the truck and going over and seeing some of the old Americana, the stops along the way that used to be there, and we'll see. I'm familiar with everything west of Albuquerque, including Oatman, Arizona. Last year or year before last, I think it was, I had a fun stop at Two Guns along the way there, just to the west of Albuquerque, I believe it was, east of Flagstaff, and non-existent anymore, but that was a lot of fun. So if I get to Kingman, we'll let you know. I will not be making it all the way to Kingman. I have a choice to make at Albuquerque. I may be in Albuquerque for a few days of the Balloon Fiesta, first part of October, and then I have a choice to make. If it's really going to be dependent on weather, and potentially I may be going down to 10 and going over to see Tombstone again, and or I'll be heading over towards Sedona that way. But you know, that time of year it starts getting iffy. Sedona, Flagstaff, that area gets a lot of snow and freezing weather. So I don't know. We'll just have to play it by ear and see how I feel about that. I wouldn't mind stopping by Two Guns and seeing it again. From what I understand, it is all privately owned, but nobody's controlling who goes on there, and that was a lot of fun going and seeing the Apache death caves and so forth. So Dune Woods Campground. All right. Take care of me. There we go. We're struggling on signal here, guys. So see how we're doing. Dune Woods Campground is within the Indiana Dune. No. Ooh. I think our signal is starting to fade. Check Traveling Robert. He is currently doing 66 and started in Chicago and stopping by a lot of roadside attractions. Love it. Thanks, Bill. I appreciate that. I will definitely check that out and see what he found. So okay, thanks. I appreciate that. This is all great information right here. Just north of Elkhart. I like it. I'd like to see all of that, including the motorhome museum. So yeah, it's, if you don't know, that Elkhart is, there are a lot of I don't know exactly how many manufacturers are in Elkhart. And I couldn't tell you. Maybe the history museum could tell me how this kind of became the place or the place. But okay, along the southern shore of Lake Michigan. I'm going to be tomorrow driving by the shore. This is the first time that I have driven by any of the Great Lakes. So I should be over pretty close to where you're talking about with that, and I'd like to check that out and see. I have not heard of it, so I appreciate that. Uh, no, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to finally accomplishing all of Route 66. And like I said, I've pretty much been over most all of them. Yeah, the lightning bugs are shorting out the Starlink. Yeah, I don't know. I see them every now and then, but to you guys it may look like a sorry for the noise, guys. To you guys, it may look like it may just look like pixelation or something, but they're flashing there behind me. Not a lot of them, but I see them. I see them around the grass and stuff like that. I think they're fascinating. So Dunewoods Campground by. I'll look that up. I will look that up. I appreciate the tip. I can tell you that today, I basically yesterday and today, I've been poring over every app that I've got, and they're just free campsites. Showed a few places where the Class B's and some small Class C's can get into, but mostly vans, and nothing that you can get a big coach into. So okay. That is actually okay with me. I typically do not need hookups, so I roll into these campgrounds, and if they have an option for a boondocking location, which a lot of them do, that's typically where I'll stay. I have really no need. I do pretty well on the solar and rarely ever have to run the generator, so I'm really happy with that. So why pay for it if you about the only thing that I could need is if it got hot, I'd need AC. And that's about the only thing I can't run on the solar. So I am actually going to be going down there that way, and I do have a reservation for Texoma, Texas. So I'm going to be dipping my toes into Texas anyway. So I appreciate that. Thank you. I will look that up. So oh wow, restored Conoco gas station. You're going to want to stop there. Thank you. I appreciate that. Absolutely. And that's typically the way it is. Yeah, most of your campgrounds do get busy on the weekend, and during the week though, pretty quiet, pretty quiet. So, well, guys, I have kind of pushed the light and the fireflies as far as they're going to go tonight. It's going to be a shorter one tonight because I'm pushing my signal as well. But I'm gonna wrap this up. There are two loops, and you're okay. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I've had pretty good luck. I typically will drive into a campground and check it out with the truck and just make sure I can tell if I'm going to have trouble getting through any of them. And I can drive it in the pickup and just kind of scope it out before I ever roll the coach in there. So I'm fortunate to be able to do that. So, but I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for tonight. And I'm probably going to go and eat something because I've been kind of busy with video, and I haven't done anything with eating. So I'm getting kind of hungry. I think I'm going to go and make it happen. But I am so glad that you guys could get by here, and I'm glad that I could actually get on because I was checking my speed on the computer, and I'll share with you what I was looking at. This is how slow the signal is, and I thought, I don't know that I can do this, but let's see if I can share the screen and speed test right there. Here's what I was looking at, guys. That is how slow. The numbers on the left indicate my download speed. The numbers on the right are my upload speed. And typically, I I I can't normally do a live at below 1.5. It gets kind of iffy. So I'm glad that we kind of stuck in there. Let's just check it real quick and see where we're at right now. Yeah, it's still down pretty low. And check our up. Oh, that's even worse than before. Oh, that's why we're doing okay. All right. All right. I'm glad to see that. So that's why it hung in there. I like it. I like it. Oh, yeah. All right, guys. Well, that is going to wrap it up for tonight and for this week. And we will see you guys next week. And let's see. I was gonna give Bill. Bill said, let's see if we could go back there real quick because it's been a while since Bill had the last word of the night right there. And we will see you guys next week. Take care, guys. It's actually getting kind of chilly here too. See you next week, guys.